Hey guys, welcome back to the Fitness Freak. In today's video, we'll be looking at ketogenic diet for the purpose of fat loss and weight reduction. The reason I'm making this video right now today is because there's a lot of people out there on the internet and on YouTube who are promoting this diet as the miracle diet with its magical properties to reduce weight and build muscle and whatnot. And alongside that, they are also preaching a lot of additional benefits to this diet like improvement of brain function and a lot of others. I wanted to make an awareness video for you, my dear viewers, to make you see the facts behind the facade here. The reason I feel that I need to do this right now is because, one, personally, I myself have been working out for over a decade, and I, like most people out there, started off by following pretty much every magazine workouts out there, every online workout that I could find, and followed every diet, including this high protein diet and Hollywood diet and whatnot. All these diets and workouts actually brought me very little in terms of actual results. And that kind of annoyed me because it wasn't something that matched the amount of effort that I put into this. I loved it so much that I didn't want to let go of working out. So I started doing my own research and I started studying tons of published research papers on exercise physiology and nutrition and started to get a clear understanding of the picture. I started implementing my understanding on myself first, started seeing good results, and then started helping people around me and started seeing all of their bodies change. And the fact about fitness is pretty simple, guys. And I wanted to make sure that everyone watching my videos gets the most realistic and up-to-date information on both fitness as well as nutrition. And hence, here we are. Let's break down the ketogenic diet. First, we need to see since when has this diet been around. So let's look a little bit about the history of this diet, shall we? Now, if you look at the history of the ketogenic diet, this diet was discovered in the year 1921 by one endocrinologist called Dr. Henry Geilen, and he developed this diet mainly to treat a problem that was very serious back then called epileptic seizure. Now, for those of you who are unaware of epileptic seizure, just Google it. I can just display an image of it right here. And epileptic seizure may be having medications right now, but back then there was no medications, and the only way to treat it was by changing your diet altogether. Hence, Dr. Henry Geilen went through a lot of research and developed this particular form of diet. Now, why did he develop the ketogenic diet, and why would the ketogenic diet help with epileptic seizure? This is because epileptic seizures are caused by electrical abnormalities in your brain, and the cause for epileptic seizure can vary from genetics all the way till brain injuries. But the most common cause to be noted is a chronic inflammation throughout the body. So what Dr. Henry Geilen found out in this regard was that when people do a certain form of fasting, two things happen in the body. One, the glucose level drops and the ketone level rises. Now, what is a glucose? A glucose is simply put as blood sugars. Okay. And what is a ketone? Ketone is a carbon-oxygen molecule that is produced by your liver in order to be used by the cells in order to provide energy in the absence of glucose. So our body is like this complex machinery that starts automatically replacing components in order to just keep on functioning. And Galen wanted to know whether it was possible to reduce the glucose levels and increase the ketones without having to fast. He discovered the ketogenic diet. But the original ketogenic diet, which was invented for the purpose of treating epileptic seizures, did not have a protein component in it. Instead, what Galen proposed was not to consume carbs at all and consume only fats. The primary purpose of a ketogenic diet is to ensure that our body is in a constant state of ketosis. Now, ketosis is the state where our body's primary source of energy is the ketones than the glucose. And this diet was an extremely efficient treatment for treating epileptic seizures. That was until 1938. You see, in 1938, the US government started developing a drug called phenytoin. And once this phenytoin started hitting the markets, it pretty much retired the ketogenic diet. And no one even bothered to look at ketogenic diet thereafter. And the ketogenic diet had been sleeping since then till a decade ago. In 2010, the same diet got introduced as something more than just a therapeutic agent. This diet got introduced as a popular weight loss diet, and this diet was proven to have all the health benefits that a person could possibly imagine, including lose fat faster, thinking clearer, maintaining a lean physique, feel better, and improving your brain functions. So the initial goal of the ketogenic diet was to maintain the body in a permanent state of ketosis. To achieve this, the fat to protein or carb ratio has to be in terms of 4:1. So this diet was popularly known as the 4:1 diet. The problem with this diet, like any other medical approach, is one thing: the protein intake was very low. The current ketogenic diet as we know it has a higher amount of protein and fats than what it was initially meant to be. So the current ketogenic diet has about 20 to 30% of your daily calories coming from protein, and your amount of carbohydrates to be consumed per day shouldn't surpass 50 grams, and the rest of your calories comes from fat. So to all of the viewers watching right now, two questions will come up. Does it help me to lose weight? Well, yes. And does it help you to lose fat? Well, no. Losing weight doesn't mean you are exactly losing fat. A lot of these diets and supplements out there keep saying that they are a weight loss supplement or weight loss diet. Now, this doesn't mean that they are going to just melt away your fat. In fact, there is no proven way to just melt off the fat from your body alone. A lot of people who have followed a ketogenic diet have experienced weight loss. How is that then? If it's not fat, then what is it? Well, it's water. People lose water when they are deprived of carbohydrates, because carbohydrates are responsible for producing glucose in your blood, and glucose, each gram of glucose is responsible for carrying along with it at least 4 grams of water. So if you've seen people who are following ketogenic diet lose a tremendous amount of weight within the first or second week, well, that is their water weight. It's not fat. So let's take my case for example. What will happen if I follow a ketogenic diet, okay? So at this time of making this video, I weigh around 70 kilos. My body fat percentage is around 15. And to make things easier to understand, I did a small calculation to find out how much glycogen I'd be holding. It's around 1200 grams of glycogen. Let's say I'm holding around 800 grams of glycogen only. Okay. So I'm holding a total of 800 grams of glycogen in all of my body. And once I start ketogenic diet, I'll be losing this 800 grams of glycogen, right? Here's the kicker. I won't be just losing the 800 grams of glycogen, but I'll be losing the 3 grams of water that each gram of glycogen is holding along with it. So 800 grams of glycogen will be holding 2 kilos and 400 grams of water. At the end of my first week itself, I'll be witnessing a weight loss of 2.5 kilos and a glycogen loss of 800 grams, which is almost 3.2 kilos. So at the end of my first week, I'll be losing around 3.2 kilos. I'll be happy, right? Well, most of it is water and 1/3 of it is going to be glycogen, but none of it is going to be fat. The simple fact is, the more carbohydrates you eat, the more water your body will hold, because it is going to hold a lot more of glycogen in it. So now a lot of you people will be having this common question: a low carb diet is not going to help me lose fat? Let me answer this. Every single study paper that I saw actually compared a low carb diet that had a high amount of protein to a low fat diet, and the result in each of these papers was that the low carb diet resulted in more weight loss, when in reality their sample itself was skewed. Their sample itself was selected with a predetermined case where they wanted to prove that a low carb diet will result in weight loss. But I didn't let go of it there. I went further and found 4 different research papers produced by Harvard University where they gave the same amount of protein for both the low carb diet and the low fat diet. And guess what did they find out? They found out that the reduced calorie diets result in clinically meaningful weight loss regardless of which macronutrients they emphasize. Meaning, it does not matter what macronutrient you are consuming or you are eliminating, as long as you are in a reduced caloric state. Meaning, as long as you are in a caloric deficit, you will continue to lose weight. Look at that. You can get the body of your dreams. You can lose all the weight you want by not having to sacrifice on the carbs. So guys, I've already made a video explaining how I got my 6 packs in just 60 days by following a caloric deficit diet, and that'll be linked up here for any of you who are interested in it. In that video itself, I had explained the concept of maintaining a steady state of caloric deficit by performing intense cardio and resistance training. This in turn will result in fat and weight loss, not just water weight loss. Now, before I conclude the video, Does all of this research prove that all of you can eat carbohydrates and still lose weight? Well, no, there is an exception. This is the case where the person who is on the diet is having insulin sensitivity. So basically his body is having insulin resistance and it is resisting from turning the carbohydrates to glycogen. Since the body's function of turning carbohydrates to glycogen is being impaired, it stores this carbohydrate as fat. That's the only case where people who are on calorie deficit diet with carbohydrates and they're still unable to lose fat, that's the only exception. And in those sorts of people, if you go to a proper fitness trainer or a nutrition coach, they would recommend you to do a carb cycle to reduce the insulin sensitivity rather than go to a ketogenic diet, which I think I've proved that is pretty much a fad right now. That's it for the video on the ketogenic diet. I hope you found this video informative and useful. If you did, hit that like button and share this video with your friend circle who are also saying that they want to start a ketogenic diet. Please help me out in spreading awareness to more people by sharing my videos. I'm doing my best job to edit them as well as possible to make it as presentable as possible. But I'm still new in this video editing thing and there's a long way to go. But I assure you, things will get better and the quality of the videos will keep getting better going forward. That being said, if you like this video, do subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell notifications so that you will not miss my future video uploads. And if you want me to cover any further nutrition topics or any further diet topics, do leave it in the comment section down below. For workout questions, do mention them also in the comment section below. I'll respond to them at the soonest possible. That's it for the video, guys. I'll catch you in another video soon. Until then, stay home, stay safe, and keep it fit.